Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream Q&A. Getting some stuff moved around here, but we should be ready to go. Let's do an audio check, and then we'll get started. Just waiting for the other screen to pop up and other chat. We should be good. I thought I hit live about 20 seconds ago, but there we go. I was talking to myself, so whatever. What else is new, right? Okay, so... while we wait for people to get in, we'll, of course, do our usual announcements for the live stream, some stuff that's going on, why I didn't upload a video this week, you know, the normal stuff. Yeah, so if you're new to this live stream, every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do, just put your questions in the comment section. I answer them in order in which they're received, and I usually get through everybody. And we try to go 1 to 2 hours. It really depends on a couple things. One, if my voice lasts that long, because you got to think I'm talking for straight 2 hours, and if we run out of questions, then we end the live stream. It's pretty much that simple. But anyway, let's go ahead and I got a list here of things I want to talk about before we get started. So loud and clear, good to go. So I posted an announcement on my comments or my community tab yesterday, saying that I was thinking about starting to bring back my Q&As and my rambling videos every week. But if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I kind of stopped doing that because I was getting flagged, getting demonetized, and all sorts of crap associated with it. I had to deal with it. So I was considering making it members only. And, that way I can create the content. I don't have to worry about getting flagged. I don't have to worry about any of those issues. And then anybody in any tier could watch them. But, I put that out there. I got some good feedback, and then I got some negative feedback. I got some questions. I got, it was technically a question, but I had some people messaging me on Instagram, and I got an email regarding it as well. So after going back and forth with people, I've decided that I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put it behind the paywall, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to make that content. The reason for that is I like to be comfortable when I create it. I like to be myself. I like to have a good time. But unfortunately, that type of person doesn't do very well on staying monetized and not getting flagged for stupid shit like hate speech and all sorts of stuff like that. So, yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to create that content, but if I do, it will be available for everybody. And maybe I'll do something down the road. Maybe I will incorporate some stuff behind the scenes. I do have an extra content tier and all sorts of stuff like that. But for now, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And, if something changes, I'll let you know. But so that's it for that. Moving on to the next thing, the new bubble algae bubble algae removal tool that I created with the 3D printer. I'm actually on version 3 right now, and anybody who's ordered over the last 24 hours is going to get the new version, which is a little bit stronger, a little bit easier to hold, and just overall better unit. But it's pretty good. I didn't make it because I had bubble algae. I made it because it was a request for somebody to come up with some kind of idea, and that's what I did, and works really well. It's based off of a siphon. You can get in there and you can dig out the bubble algae, and it siphons out the spores just in case you pop them, and it also, of course, siphons out the bubble algae right into a bucket. And you can buy the tool yourself, You can buy the tool, or you can buy the entire kit, which comes also with a clamp for the hose. So it's pretty cool. It's been pretty popular. I got quite a few orders of that so far, so I appreciate the support on that. And so if you guys have any ideas or anything you want me to create for 3D printing, just go ahead and email me, and I'm willing to spend some time doing that. Like, I have a pump that I got to work on this week and get that out for somebody. But that's it for that. Next thing, there's no coral on the website. Well, there is, but very little. I ran that sale for like 2 weeks. It was like $10 frags, all sorts of stuff like that. And you guys killed me. Not literally, but it was bad. That's why I didn't get any. It was good, but it was also bad that I couldn't get anything else done. We were slammed with orders for this entire week up until yesterday, and a few days prior to that. So thanks for all the support on that. I will get more WYSIWYG coral out eventually. I just got to be able to sit down and take some pictures, and so it's just a work in progress. I could use about 2 full-time employees right now, and that's not even a joke. That's part of the reason why you guys haven't seen a lot of content, is because I don't have a choice. I have to work, and creating content used to be before work, but now that work is so busy, it has to take a back seat. So if you guys are new to the channel, you're looking at 1 to 2 regular videos, normal content, every week on top of this live stream on Friday. So that's my plan. I try to get that out every week for you guys so you understand. And the last thing is, nope, I already covered that. Cool. So we're done. All right. So that's everything on the to-do list that I need to talk to. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good week. It's hot as balls outside right now. I was pretty successful with shipping. I had a couple DOAs because of temperature. Of course, you know, I have the nice ice packs that are good for like 24 hours. They're colder than ice, but sometimes that's not enough. If it's going to states like Texas where it's already really hot, it's 98 degrees when you leave here, and it's 100 something when you get there. You know, that's a lot of work for an ice pack, but it's been pretty good. I know this time of year is pretty slow when it comes to ship for coral sales, just because it is so hot. So I'm really looking forward to the fall. But you know, it is what it is. So here we go. So I got both chats up. We got one moderator in right now. Scott could not make it. He's not feeling well. So we got one person kicking everybody out. So let's scroll up. Look at Brian King talking shit, man. What is he talking about? You got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things talking about some dude's mullet. Brian, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? What are you talking about, man? I don't even know what that is. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our first question from Anonymous Aquarius. Question: I'm planning on incorporating a type of slow sand filter similar to the ones used in water filtration plants. A fine grained sand on top and a medium grained sand on the bottom. He continues. Smart guy came in early and got this stuff in order, so it's easy to read. Of course, sand on the bottom. I plan on adding Nacerasis snails and a couple of sifting stars. So I'm guessing sand sifting starfish. Would this work as a protein skimmer in some way with capturing organics? Next question. Also, it would be deep sand bed, 10 inches, 5.5 inches wide and 16 in long. Would it allow nitrifying bacteria to grow? I don't know why you're doing that, man. Deep sand beds are a thing of the past. People aren't doing that crap anymore. The equipment's so sophisticated that we have now. Almost no one's doing deep sand beds. If you want to spend all that money on sand and you want to have a deep sand bed, go ahead. Is it worth it? Probably not. Is it a huge pain in the ass and looks ugly? Yes. But, I mean, that's my personal opinion. I'm more of a bare bottom guy. But, yeah, I would not do that. I mean, not a fan of it. But, hey, if you want to do it, go ahead, man. It's your roof tank. But for me, nope, not working. Let's get back past all Brian's shit that he was talking. Gabe, real men have a business in the front and a party in the back. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Not me, though. It's all business all the way around. Let's see what we got here. Thanks for all the support, guys. Appreciate that. I'm reading all the comments. I'm just scrolling down and see if we get to a question here. Hannah Checkers, ... Which ones do you use and with what ones you don't use? Is it Red Sea or Sulfur or both? Okay. So I use Hannah Checker for my alkalinity. I use it for my phosphates. That's it. I use Red Sea for my nitrates, and I use my Red Sea for magnesium, and Sulfur for potassium. And I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Yeah. I do mix it up a little bit. I mean, I have every single test you can think of right now here because I'm making the holders for them. So they're just kind of sitting around, not being used. But yeah, so that's what I use for Hannah Checkers. I'm considering getting the one for nitrates eventually. It's on my list of things to get at some point. Hey, Travis, I have some cyano starting. My nitrates show 0 Salifert, and my phosphates are at 0.22, Hannah. Also, 0 TDS, RODI, water. Any suggestions on natural ways of completely cyano? Yeah, figure out where your phosphates are coming from. Are you feeding heavy? You feeding a lot of Nori, stuff like that? Since your water set is 0 TDS, just kind of figure out where your extra phosphates are coming from. Most likely it's from food. Hopefully, you're not dosing anything, but figure out where your phosphates are, remove that source, and then get in there and do some manual removal. Increase the flow, of course, is always good for getting rid of cyano, but you might want to get in there and siphon it out. Water change, I wouldn't go crazy on water changes because you're already at 0 nitrates, so consider actually dosing some nitrates. That would be beneficial to kind of balancing things out because it seems like you have a lot of phosphates and 0 nitrates. I would double check that nitrates test with maybe Red Sea. And if you got the money, get the Hannah, or if it's available. But yeah, just double check that reading. And if you are at 0 nitrates, consider dosing some nitrates, and just find the source for phosphates. Just kind of balance things out. But yeah, manual removal, you should be good to go. Stay away from chemically and all that kind of crap if you can. Stay away from anything that's going to, any kind of media that's going to remove nitrates and phosphates. Stay away from that stuff. Fish of Hex, hey, what's up, Travis? Hey, what's up, man? One day I'll buy coral from you. Just can't afford it at the moment. Hey, man, dude, no sweat. I don't expect a lot of people to afford it right now with everything going on. A lot of people still aren't working. A lot of people can't work. So, hey, I'm not upset, man. Just watching the videos, hitting a thumbs up, leaving a comment. That's good enough for me. You don't have to buy anything from me. I'll be all right. All right. Appreciate it, man. Okay. What's going on, Hex family? What's up, man? Or woman? I don't know. I couldn't tell by the name. Yeah, this tank is old tank video, guys. You guys know this is the this is the same background video that I've had for months, probably 7 months now. The same background video for my live streams. It's only because I haven't recorded anything else. Oh, by the way, let me do some moving here. You guys hear that? You don't, because I bought a new chair. No more ass squeaking. Told you guys I was going to work on it. Cost me $200 for a chair. $200 to put my fat ass in a cushion. No, that's stupid. But I figure because I'm in it all day, might as well get something decent. It's all right. It's not the greatest. It works. It's a lot better than the one I had before that was like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I sit back in it, and it's just a 50-50 chance if the bolt's going to snap out and I'm going to fly backwards, because it did, and it does, and or it does and it did, and or if it's going to lean to the side. So I'm happy with what I got. Hey Hex, what is the dimensions of your sump? Is the style you have custom from Geo's Reef? I don't know what the dimensions are. I know that it's I don't remember, man. I don't. I know that I wanted to make sure everything fit underneath an 8-foot by 2-foot tank. I don't remember the dimensions. It's a certain version of the sump. I'll have to look it up and see. But yeah, there's some custom dimensions on the inside to fit the particular skimmer that I wanted. Bigger refugium, of course, is what I was looking for. Definitely interested to see kind of what route I'm going to go for the new setup and what sump setup I'm going to have. Of course, I'm going Geo's Reef. It's just everything's going to be bigger, and I really can't wait to see what it turns into. But yeah, I wish I had the dimensions for you. If you go ahead and check out my 300-gallon playlist, you'll be able to see the whole sump and everything, the installation. I should talk about it in that video. Having troubling with the Mars Lights Apex mod. The timer part works, but not the dimming. Got anything I should do before? Yeah, make sure you have the wires hooked up right. Because if they're not hooked up right, it's not going to dim. Make sure what you're talking about with the the Apex goes into, or sorry, the Apex connects to the variable speed port, which controls the lights. I have a whole video on that. That's probably why you asked, but I haven't done it in years, so I can't remember every little aspect of it. That's why I'm like creating the video, so I can go back and check. But definitely check that out. It's in the Apex playlist. Should be able to see the whole process and as well as the programming. If it doesn't work with that programming, then your wiring is probably wrong. Question: when setting up a tank and drilling, is it better for the overflow to be on one side and the return on the other to circulate the water to the overflow? No, it doesn't matter, man. If you got power heads in there, there's enough flow going around. You could drop it right next to the overflow, and there's still going to be plenty of water movement. But hey, for the sake of it not looking weird, I like to have my overflow in the middle and my returns on either side, as you can see in the video. That's kind of what I prefer. But it really doesn't matter. As long as you got enough flow, you're fine. If you have no flow and it's just dumping in, then going directly into the overflow, that might be a problem. But yeah, just make sure you have enough flow. Hey, I've had a pink spotted goby for about 10 months, and just this past month, he has decided to hide under one of my rocks. He won't come out and will only eat if I put food in front of him. Is there a second part to that, or are you just asking? Okay, here we go. My water parameters are okay so far. No change. I'm seeing if there's any more. Not that far down. Any more toys. So what are you asking, man? Like, is it normal? I mean, fish are going to change based on, their environment. So did you add other fish that are going after the goby? Is there something else going on in there that's pissing them off? I mean, water parameters don't necessarily cause that. It's more of a stressful environment. Usually fish aggression causes fish to hide. So consider looking at what you've added so far, or what you've added for fish since you've added that one, and see if maybe that has something to do with it. Hey, Hex, what is the purpose of an ORP probe? To make money off you. I will admit, I read up on it when it originally came out with the Apex. I read the whole article on it, what was the point of it, the ins and outs. It was so irrelevant that I forgot about what it was, and I don't care. It's just not something that I look at, man. I know it wasn't that big of a deal, and it's pretty complex to a certain extent. I do remember that. But yeah, I don't have an answer for you on that. You're going to have to do a little bit of a Google search. But yeah, it's a way to make a quick buck selling parts of the Apex. There you go. All right, here we go. Here, next question. Get a drink real quick. Hello, Hex. I'm cycling my 400-gallon system. I have 8 tangs in QT. They are between 1 inch to 2. How many can I add without issues? I have a Niles 300 and a larger Fusion 360X Kessel Light. Okay, well, if you have a 400-gallon system and you only have 8 1 to 2 inch tangs, yeah, you can get away with a lot more than that. What I would do is I would add those 8 first, and then maybe do another batch of 8 around the same size, and that's what you're looking for. So you want to add, the same size fish in the beginning, so there's less aggression. And you never want to add one tang to a group of tangs that are already in a tank by itself, because you're going to cause a lot of stress. But depending on how many you can have for a 400-gallon system, it comes down to how big those fish get. Did you buy 8 Flamingi tangs? Then yeah, you're going to have a friggin' problem. But if you bought 8, what's a smaller tang? We got the powder blue, or maybe a yellow tang. Those are relatively small in the grand scheme of tangs. But yeah, so it just depends on the type of fish you have. Again, if you have 8 Flamingis or 8 fish that are capable of getting 2 feet long, then yeah, you're going to have some problems with that down the road. So yeah, $200 will save your ears. But yeah, so take that in consideration. You can get away with a lot of fish in a tank like that. Again, depending on your aquascape, how many corals you have. It really comes down to how much space they have after things start to grow out. So keep that in consideration. But yeah, you're going to have to kind of judge that on your own. But yeah, good luck, man. Reggie, thanks for the great content. Setting up a new LPS and softy with titanium rock during the exact curing from your old videos. Yeah, that curing process has worked out really well. A lot of good positive feedback on it. My power head's sucking bubbles down over there. I might have to turn that down. Programming this time of night kicks up a little bit right before the lights go off, and then it kind of settles down. But yeah, let me go ahead and turn that down real quick. 1 second. Alrighty, that's finally got that done. I took it off its program mode and brought it down to like 10%, so it would stop sucking air during the video. Good to go. But yeah, so just you follow the video. It's been pretty successful, and I wish that I could do my next build that way, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. We're going to have to aquascape with dry and then give it some time, but that's okay. We're not going to be in any kind of rush setting that up, anyways. No, I haven't even worked on the Senai monitor holder. No, I haven't worked on that for the 3D printer. Again, it's on the list, Gabe. I just haven't got around to it. All right, here we go. Hey, Travis, I'm bumbling through tank stuff, being patient and enjoying the journey with reef keeping. Thanks for keeping up the output. Hey, no problem, man. What does Brian got here? Hey, Travis, what size auxiliary mixing tank would you recommend for my ATO? I don't know, man. I don't know what your ATO is. I don't know. I don't know, man. Nope, gotta scroll back up. What are we at here? We're at 2011 and 2022. Okay, yeah, so we're a little bit behind. How do I fight red cyano, bro? Rewind about, how long have we been doing this for? Rewind about 15 minutes and see previous answer. Hey, Travis, I currently have a bare bottom Red Sea 350. Been like this for 2 years. Lately, I've been tempted to add sand. Could I add sand to tank, or is it a bad idea? You can add sand. Just do it slowly. Do it with the power heads off. People have made that mistake before. It's kind of entertaining. But yeah, just go ahead and you can add it. Just do it slow. And don't go crazy on it. Give it time to build up beneficial bacteria. Of course, rinse it off the best you can so your tank isn't cloudy for days. And or you can just throw some filter socks on and take care of it if it becomes an issue. But yeah, you can add some. I was thinking about doing it for a while just so you guys would shut up about the bare bottom, but then I remember that I don't care. So moving down. All right. I have ChemiClean here, but really have no interest in using it. I ordered some potassium nitrate, trying to raise up those and find the balance. Thanks, man. Keep up the good content, best YouTuber. Thanks, man. Yeah, you can, of course, make sure your water parameters are in the right range, calcium, alkalinity, magnesium. I find that if your magnesium dips down, it doesn't just only affect your relationship between calcium and alkalinity, it does affect other things within the tank. So make sure those are all in the appropriate range. All right. What is your favorite acro? Really big fan of the green slimer. I just like the way it grows. It's one of my favorite from the very beginning. And I just like the way it grows, the thicker branches. It's just, I don't know. I'm just really big fan of it. That's why I don't like cutting it. That's why you guys keep asking me if it's in stock. And by the way, guys, if you want something that's out of stock, just subscribe to the email on there so it notifies you. It'll send you a notification when it comes back in stock. But yeah, that's why I don't cut a lot of that stuff, because I really like just letting it grow. Plus, I got to fill in some bare spots with all that coral I took out a few months ago. Matt, hey, what's up, Hex? Hey, man. We are getting closer and closer to being set up for our frag farm. Would you suggest cycling with copepods? No, I mean, you can add them if you want, but cycle it, and then you can add the copepods after it's cycled. That way, if it's not stable and you get spikes in ammonia, you're not killing off any livestock. So just add it later. Can you answer? What did I miss your question, man? Let me go up. I usually don't miss any questions unless they're dumb. So if I didn't answer your question, it's probably dumb. I'm just kidding, man. No, I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. Greetings from London. Hey, what's up? Never been there. Flown over it. Never been there, though. If I buy fish from my local fish store, should I add copper in quarantine tank? I mean, every time I usually leave a trace amount of copper in my quarantine tanks. And then I get up, once the fish are in there for a few days, then I'll start bringing it up to the recommended dose. Of course, I test with a HANA checker to make sure it's in the right range. You don't want to be guessing on that kind of stuff with any other test other than the HANA checker. Personally, my opinion on that. But yeah, I usually use copper regardless. It's just, I feel better about it. Even though I don't see anything, I just feel better knowing that I use copper. Dude, man. What size auxiliary mixing tank should I put for my 50-gallon or smaller or bigger on my 180? Travis, what size auxiliary mixing tank should I put in line, 50-gallon or smaller or bigger for my 180? I mean, whatever works for you, dude. If you're not using a lot of water, you don't need a bigger one. I mean, I have 160 for 500 gallons in here. That's really up to you. I guess whatever fits your budget and, works out for you. Just make sure you have enough water to do an I would say make sure you have enough water to top off your ATO for a week. And then also make sure you have enough water to do a 30% water change if you have to do an emergency at some point. Just make sure you have that amount of water. So do the math. We're good to go. Do you recommend protein skimmer on a new tank? Does it make sense to start out fish first before coral? Okay, so the second part of that, yes, you need to have fish before coral. You need to have that stability with the beneficial bacteria. You need to have that before you add coral. Not something you don't have to do it, but I recommend it. It's better on the system because coral don't really add too much of a bioload. I know some corals to a certain extent, some articles that I read, they do contribute to the bioload, but overall, a fish is going to is going to be taking dumps in your tank. An acropora is not going to. So you might want to consider adding the fish first, building up that beneficial bacteria to stabilize the tank. That way, when you add your corals, you're not dealing with any fluctuations. So that's what I recommend. Now, the first part, do you recommend a protein skimmer for a new tank? Yeah. You don't have to keep the lid on, but you can turn it on. If it's a new protein skimmer, I'm burping over here. It's going to break in depending on the brand. So you're going to want to turn that on. So just take the cup off, turn the skimmer on, let it break in for a couple weeks, put the cup on, and you can start doing some light skimming while you're breaking in. It's not a big deal. It's not going to make or break the system. If anything, it's going to add, it's going to increase your pH because you're basically injecting water into the tank. And yeah, so it's not a bad thing. My friend gave me a Tang that has stress marks from being in his 20-gallon tank. What's your best recommendation to help him heal? Good water quality. I think that's HLLE. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's due to having a bad environment. So it just was either stressed out because the tank was too small, the water parameters weren't good. There's many different reasons. It could be getting bullied in such a small tank from another tank. There's many different things. But yeah, your best thing you can do is feed it a good diet, give it plenty of swimming room, and that's it. There's not really much else you can do about that. Man, son. Hey, thanks for the orders. I have my phone on silent here, so I'm just checking. 1 second. Let me see what this is right here. Oh, UPS guy dropping stuff off, man. What the hell did he drop off? I don't remember ordering anything, so whatever. But thanks for the orders that came in. You know who you are. I try to keep my phone on silent because it's always going off. I don't want to irritate anybody. All right. Yeah, guys, understand I am these questions come in, and of course I can see when they first come in, but I don't answer them. I wait for them to come over in the order on my StreamYard. So right now I'm at 2018 or 2019. So and it is 2028 right now. So yeah, I'm about 8 minutes behind, so just bear with me. I'll get to you, all right? Question. Oh, here comes Glenn. I got 4 tanks through QT and put them in the display with a sail fin and coal tank yesterday with mirror. Okay. Coal and sail have been pounding the mirror for 24 hours. How long should I keep the mirror? I've never done that before. Usually let them just deal with it. What I've done is I just put them in the same size, give them plenty of hiding places, make sure they're well fed, and they either get along or they don't. You can keep the mirror in there, but you got to think, if you're trapped in a room with a mirror and you had to look at yourself all day, you'd probably get pretty irritated too. So yeah, I've never done that before. I can't really give you any recommendations. I told you what I did, so consider maybe doing that. Brother, thoughts on adding 2 similar sized baby yellow tanks? Tank is 250 gallons, starting it up soon. Yeah. As long as they're around the same size. See, the thing is, when it comes to adding tangs, the one thing you got to consider is not exactly what tang they are, but their facial structure. So you got 2 tangs or yellow tangs that have the same facial structure. Now, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't go ahead and add like a Scopus tang or another tang with that, like the blue tang here. What the hell his name is? I forgot his name. Big Blue that I got from Scott from Roscoe's Reef. I wouldn't add another fish tang or tang that has the same similar structure, kind of like a sail fin, just because that's where you're going to get that aggression. But if you have something like a hippo tang or maybe a clown tang, something with a different facial structure, I find that there was not as much aggression. Now, personally, I find that tangs like the hippo tang and the Flamingi tang that have that kind of a rounded face, they're not nearly as aggressive as a sail fin or powder blue or the even the purple in the video there. I just find they're a lot less aggressive. So consider maybe adding some lesser known aggressive fish tanks when you add more. But yeah, you'll be fine with 220 like that. You're not going to have any issues. Yeah, you'll be fine, man. How do you run your UV? I need run time and flow ideas. I turn it on. It turns off during my feed modes, and then it turns back on when my feed modes are done. And I put flow through it. I don't have a recommended amount because I mean, if I wanted to use it, I use it to polish the water. That's it. So a little bit faster flow is going to help polish the water. If you're looking to kill like parasites and try to fight ick, which would be dumb, but if you're trying to do that with the UV, then you want a little bit slower flow so you have some more contact time with the light. But for me, I just kind of run it through there, nothing too crazy. Oh, like, oh, this looks good, and then I go from there. I don't overthink stuff like that, Gabe. Mainly because I just don't. That's not my personality. I don't really care. I put it on. My tank looks clear. Cool. It's doing its job. That's all I care about. And then I move on from there. Welcome everybody to the live stream. Appreciate it. Hey, if you're coming in, hit the thumbs up, man. What the hell's going on with you people? Thumbs up. Instant gratification. That's all I ask. Hey, Travis, I was wondering what parameters you run and what your thoughts on encrusting montes on the very bottom of a tank glass. Thanks. Okay. Parameters. All right, man. Just going to give you some rough ideas here. Then, I mean, that might be what I'm at now. I guess I can pull up my Apex. But about 9 DKH. 3, I don't know. I don't test calcium very often. What did my Apex say? What's my Apex say? 445. There we go. So there we go. There's my Apex. Magnesium 1400, temp 79, 79.5 usually. I think that's it, right? I don't really pay attention to pH. I just make sure I keep my skimmer plugged in, plumbed outside. I get as much air as in the sump as I can, and I just leave it at that. That's about it. So as for the encrusting montes on the very bottom, yeah, you can do that. I don't see why not. You're going to have to kind of work around them once they start spreading. They're eventually going to get to a rock structure, and they're going to go up that rock, so just keep that in mind. It's kind of like a lot of people say, hey, put the green star polyps in the back glass. Yeah, it looks cool, but then that green star polyps, flakes off, or it decides to jump to a rock, and then you got it all over the place. So just keep that in mind for long-term success anyways. But yeah, you can probably put it on the bottom. Just make sure you have enough par. I'm hitting about 250 at the bottom glass on mine, so that's fine for most encrusting montes. Excuse me, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Oh, yawning over here. Damn, it does not feel like Friday. It feels like straight Sunday. This is the second Friday that I've did this live stream, and it felt like a Sunday, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta work tomorrow. But yeah, so what is your fastest growing acro? I don't know. They all grow pretty fast. I'd say the one that seems bigger than all the rest would be the purple tip or purple with blue tip. Acropora, the big staghorn in the top middle, both middle rock structures, the top of both of those. I love that acro. I did have the name of it originally, but I forgot what it was. All right, moving down. Hey, Travis, STS on the stag and 3-year-old reef, STN, had a 4-degree temp increase, and it's within 6 hours, a period with the AC issue. Other parameters, test perfect started on the tips, one branch, leave it alone or cut. You said, what is it? You didn't say how big it was. If it's a pretty big stag, I'd cut it, but cut it like 4 inches below where it stopped STNing, and hopefully it doesn't spread. Yeah, 4-degree temp increase. Yeah, the AC issue. I'll tell you right now, man, I think about that all the time. That's the number one reason to get a chiller right there is if your AC goes out or gets too hot or whatever reason, you have the chiller to give you a backup. Crap. Right now, it's so hot outside that my AC unit or my central air is actually having a hard time keeping the temperature down in the house. So my chiller's been kicking on once or twice a day so far, which is great because once it gets to 80, it comes back down. But I couldn't even imagine how hot it would be if I didn't have it. It just seems like a hotter year than usual. Hopefully we make up with it with a whole bunch of snow, but I doubt it. We didn't get really any last year, so we'll see. Travis, sorry, Travis, I'm done. I'm done in all. Have to watch it tomorrow. Okay, remember to like the video. People 75 watch, only 6 likes. Yeah, that's appreciated, man. Yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you at the next live stream. I'm trying to find the cap to my water because I know I'm going to knock it over. But okay, let's go and move down. Shit, not that far. Coral prices are pretty good. Just waiting for the first to order some. Yeah, the prices on my coral were really good a couple weeks ago. You know, I was sending out 1.5 inch, 2 inch things of like purple stylo for $10. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't really do a sale like that too often. I just needed to make some room, and that's exactly what we did. We did cleaned out quite a bit actually. So I got essentially one low boy empty equivalent between the 3 low boys where I can really start cutting some more coral, which I plan on doing later in the week. So, but yeah, the prices are pretty good. It's because it's grown in house. I don't have the overhead that a lot of people have when they're transshipping and bringing stuff in. Because I grow it in house, I can make the prices whatever I want. And you know, some people have a problem with that. I've had a couple people reach out and say, "Hey, man, your prices are too low. You're going to cause issues." And I just tell them to pound sand because I grew it myself, and that's the way it is, man. It's the way it is. Travis, I added an auto eye inside my display tank to my reservoir tank. When the display tank gets low and the trips off fresh seawater, problem with some seawater. Okay, I got to read that again. Travis, if I added an auto eye inside my display tank to my reservoir tank, and when my display tank gets too low, trips off the fresh seawater top off, would that be a problem in my sump? Yeah, you don't want to do that, man. Put the auto top off in your sump, because the water level in your tank isn't going to go down. It's going to go down in your sump first. Yeah, so yeah, just put it in your sump. It's easier that way. We are 3D printing some frag plug holders. It's PETG, safe to use in a reef tank. Yeah, it's safe. Yep, PETG is fine. I've been dosing your NO3 and PO4 for 2 weeks. 2 ml of NO3 and 1 ml PO4 and a 40-gallon nitrate is at 5, but phos is still 0. Hannah, what is preventing phos from increasing phos? Yeah, increase the dose of the phosphate so you get it up a little bit more. Consider doing the what are you doing? 1, 2 of the other. Consider doing 2 mLs of the PO4. You just got a balancing issue there, so just increase it a little bit. Once you start seeing a reading, back off a little bit. That way you don't accidentally overdose, and then make sure you're testing correctly as well. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I mentioned this a couple times, and for those of you who are wondering, so if you're dosing nitrates and phosphates, you're going to want to dose them, I guess, at night. So say before you go to bed, dose them at night, and then before you dose again in 24 hours, you want to go ahead and test your nitrates and phosphates before you dose. That way it has time to be in the system, work itself around. Also, you most likely fed your fish in the morning, so you don't have to worry about having phytoplankton or excess nutrients or crap floating around, so you don't get any false readings on your test kit. So just keep that in mind. My acros only have polyp extension when the lights are off. Is this normal? Could be the lights are too strong. It could be the lights are too strong. I mean, are they pale? That polyp extension at night is just a feeding response. Mine get it. I guess my green slimer gets a ton of polyp extension at night. But it also it has normal polyp extension during the day. I'd have to see it at what it looks like to tell you if it's not normal or not. But definitely at night, you're going to get a lot more polyp extension because that's the feeding response. That's when corals are trying to catch, phytoplankton and stuff like that in the evening. So, yeah. I'd have to see the acro to tell you if it's not normal or not. Hey, Travis, got 2 XR30s G5 blues over a Red Sea 65-gallon tank, SPS dominant. Senai is rating crazy par up to 1100 upper rocks. Do you think it's an overkill? Yeah. If you're getting 1100 par at the top of your rocks, yeah, you're asking for. You're talking about without even coral, just 1100 par. Okay, no, you're asking for some serious issues. I get about 1100 par at the top of the water, and that's fine because it's 7 inches from the light. But if you're 7 inches, say you got 7 inches between your light and the water, and then you're down into the tank, probably 10 inches to the top of the rock, or even longer, or even farther, and you're still getting 1100 par. Yeah, that's a little much, man. Yeah, might want to back that down a little bit. Should be about like 450, 500 max at the top of rock structure. This is going to depend on what your rock structure looks like. But yeah, 1100. No, man. You can be cooking coral in that tank, bro. I'm glad you asked. Wouldn't have been a problem. Tim Hex, are you going to be getting some other new types of acros to harvest since you're growing well? Nope, not getting anything yet, Tim. Tim, I'm going to be my coral situation is staying the same. If anything, I'm going to be cutting up the reef tank a lot more just because the way I'm working right now, fingers crossed, everything works out with the land and all that stuff. We're gonna be moving in probably June of next year. So, God willing, if it's meant to be. But yeah, we're gonna be cutting up a lot more coral in here. So the reef tank might look like it's shrinking, but that's all right, man. I ain't trying to impress anybody. Like, oh man, this tank's 3 years old, and those colonies are so small. Yeah, cutting them up. But yeah, so I'm gonna be not getting any other corals in. Again, I'm gonna be cutting up what I have, cutting a lot more of it, and that's just so if say, I'm 4 months out and I got to move. Of course, I got to move before then. And I don't want to be cutting up the entire tank in 4 months. That's a ton of stress. It's not good for the system. So I got to do it slowly over the next year to make sure I don't cause any unnecessary stress. So, yeah, unfortunately, nothing new's coming in until after we get the new setup, which is, I can't wait, honestly. Really can't. Running out of room, and I am ready for some bigger tanks. Definitely. Oops. Went all the way down. My rock flower anem. My rock flower climbed up the glass. Should I leave it? Yeah, you can leave it alone. Just make sure it doesn't get into the power heads. But yeah, you should be fine. It'll find its way back down. If you want, you can take it and put it at the bottom of the rock structure. The thing with anems is they do what they want, regardless of the type. They just do whatever they want to do. All right. I currently have 3 HD Prime and a Reef Bright HXO and my mixed reef. If money wasn't an issue for you, would you change lights to 3 Radiant XR15s looking for maximum coral growth and coloration? Yeah. Yep. I'm a big fan of Radion, so yeah, I would upgrade if you want. Yeah, if you have the money. As long as if you're getting the reality is if you're getting with those 3 lights and the Reef Brights, if you're getting the par that you're looking for in your current setup, then leave it alone. But if you want more par or a different type of spectrum, a little bit more controllability or whatever you're looking for that you think the Radions can give you, then yeah, go ahead. For me personally, Radions are, I like them. I like them a lot. So, hello, Travis. My temp fluctuated through the day and night from 77 to 78.8. Do you think it's a good gap tolerance? I think that's a little much. You might want to bring that down. All right, what is the best tank size for fish-only tank? I don't know. Whatever kind of fish you want to get, make sure you have a tank big enough for them. It's hard to tell you. What do you want? You want only goldfish? You want only minnows? You're talking about saltwater here, I'm assuming. You want all damsels, chromis? What kind of fish-only tank do you want? If you want to get a 4-foot eel, then yeah, you're gonna have to get something a little bigger. If you want a shark, yeah, you're gonna get something a little bit bigger. You got to make the tank capable to support the maximum length or growth rate or size of the fish that you plan on keeping in it. So there you go. Reef and Chill. Hey, man, I'm going to start growing Chaeto for natural phosphate management. I have a Kessel H380. I've heard it has crazy par and there's no setting the dial and down. How can I acclimate with Chaeto? I'm almost positive you can adjust the intensity of that thing. I had one on a client's tank. I'm almost positive you can. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. But yeah. How do you acclimate it? Just throw it in there, man. Yeah, it's not. It's not like you can put a strand of Chaeto in at a time. Just put it in there. If you want, you could take the light and you can raise it up higher than you want it to be. If you can't adjust the setting, the intensity down, then just bring the light up if you can, and then slowly bring it down after a few weeks. Yeah. How come a Monty cap started encrusting instead of plating? When I bought it, it was a large plate. Well, it's got to get a base structure. Once it feels, I guess, quote unquote, comfortable, it will then plate out. Yep. What is a good ppm for magnesium? Just tested 12. So yeah, you're too low. That's way too low. You should be at like 1350 to 1450. I stay about 14. What am I at right now? 14, 13. That's what I'm at right now. For a while there, it was pretty low because I didn't have any magnesium. I just ordered some more, actually. Yeah, you definitely got to get that up. All right, let's go and get down here. Okay, if you had a client that ignored your advice and kept asking for help, what point do you tell them to pound sand, asking for a friend? I don't know. Depends on how much I charge them. I'm just kidding. No, I don't really have tolerance for that stuff. If I tell you to do something and then I come back in 2 weeks for our scheduled maintenance and you did the exact opposite, that's when that transaction ends. I don't have time for that crap. Make more money sitting in my basement than going to some joker's house, having them not pay attention. Don't work for me. Could you talk a little bit about the Reef for veterans? I'm interested to know what all about and how people can help. Right now, people can't really do anything, unfortunately. We had our first tank that we did in Ohio. Gave it to Mike. It was a 125 from Custom Aquariums. It was a great setup. The tank cracked. So we are looking to get him another tank. Ooh, I think I might have just made my chair squeak. Kind of. That's me rolling around. So how it works is I take 10% of my daily sales and then I put it in a separate account. And then I give tanks away to veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. I've kind of changed it up. But right now, there's not really anything that anybody can do. I'm not taking any donations for tanks. I'm not taking any donations for equipment. And I can't go to anybody's house because of freaking COVID stuff. So right now, I just have money sitting in an account waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel, so we can continue to make more, to buy more tanks and to set them up. It's just it really sucks, man, because I just want to get another one done. I enjoyed going to Mike's house and setting that up and just going through the whole experience and having just giving something away that, it was just nice. So I'm kind of bummed I can't do it right now. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys in a loop. Once this whole situation calms down, when we start setting up another tank, I am going to do my next one here in Pennsylvania because I just need something easy. I'm going to get it there. I might do a custom job where the person tells me what they're looking for and what they're looking to upgrade to or whatever. And I might just build them, drill the tank and build the stand or get the stand in, depending on what I want to do. I haven't decided yet. It's kind of, I have to sit down with people. But if you're interested in qualifying for this, you can send me an email. If you're not getting a response right away, it's because that email was forwarded to my Reef Tanks for Veterans application folder, and I'll get to them once I can start the process again. I hate to go back and forth with people about it and then not be able to talk to you for months. I mean, I just find it to be a little annoying. So, or just disappointing. I would say a little bit disappointing that I can't do it. But yeah, yeah, I guess that's it. Just hopefully we can kick this back in and start doing it again. Hey, Travis, it's Sovereign Reef. I'm the man. Dick. What? I don't. Oh, you're a man. I said that maybe you were a chick. Oh, that's funny. All right, man. I know. That's funny though. I appreciate you coming in and starting shit with me. That's funny. Mark, hey, I just got a yellow tang and it's eating fine with frozen food, but when I try Nori, will swim past it. Should I stop trying to feed it? Yeah, don't bother with, man. If it's eating mysis, just be happy that it's eating. Okay, it's not stressed out to the point where it won't eat anything. So just be happy and thankful that it's doing that. Hopefully you just got it and it's in quarantine. All right, hopefully it is. If not, then I think feeding it or what it's going to eat is the least of your worries. But hopefully you're doing the right thing, Mark, and it's in quarantine. Anthony, picked up a 200-gallon display tank. What would you use to get good flow for a bare bottom SPS downing system? Well, I would say Jabo, but I'm not because I'm having some bad luck with those guys. So they're good for the return pumps, but I'm having some issues with their power heads. I've been really burning them, and they're not cheap either. So I'm just burning through money trying to get flow. I would say Neros, but they're pretty good to a certain extent, but they're not that good. I mean, they work, but they're just not enough power. So consider trying the Apex. I heard that was good. That's it. I don't really have a lot of experience with too many of the power heads, but you can do what I do on my bare bottom. You can put them on the actual bottom of the tank. Technically, you can see in the video here, the bottom right. So it pushes flow across, keeps the dead spots up, and then you can add some up on the sides or in the back wall. But yeah, man, I would stay away from Jabo right now, just because it's just junk. Oh man, it went all the way down. What is your suggestion for sump turnover? I don't know, man. I don't have a suggestion. If you got enough flow going in the display tank and it looks pretty good, then it's fine. You don't want to have so much flow going through it that if the if for say you turn off the power and it overflows the sump, backfeeding, you should have a check valve, of course, but whatever's in the overflow or what's in the display tank is all got to come back down one way through the drain. So just don't have too much where it overflows if it turns off. But I'm not too particular about that stuff. I usually just run enough flow through my display and through my sump that's going to, of course, take care of the display and take care of my UV and take care of my Chaeto or my refugium, all that kind of stuff. So, average right now, most people and most tanks at about 100 gallons or more do about 1,200 gallons minimum through a sump. That's what I was running for a while, and it seemed fine. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, man. As long as it's not stagnant and you ain't got crusties floating on the water and stuff, you'll be fine. Would you use Nori from China market? It's only $4 for 20 large sheets. Do what you gotta do, man. I don't want to get this video demonetized. So yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'd just buy it offline. Moving down. Would you ever go the route of tubs instead of a display tank? No. I don't like tubs. I like enjoying what I create, and I like having a display tank. Matter of fact, we're going to have 2 display tanks soon. So can't wait for that. Hey, Todd, thanks for the feedback there. Steven, hey, I know you're not really an LPS guy, but my parameters are spot on, and all my other LPS are happy, but my Akins and one of my torches have stopped opening. No chances of equipment or dosing. No changes in equipment or dosing. Okay, look at the tank at night and see if anything's messing with it. See if you got any critters in there pissing around. Has your flow changed? You said your water parameters are spot on. Just make sure you have enough nutrients. That's one thing. Direct flow, changes in flow, changes in nutrients. Anything in there pissing it off. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Can't really think of anything outside of that might be causing them to close up. One thing you got to understand is if 90% of the stuff in your tank is happy and that 10% or just even a couple things are just not happy, do not change the whole setup to make 1 or 2 corals happy. It's called Darwinism, I believe. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. Make sure your things are, your water parameters are where they should be, and leave it at that. Also, thanks for doing these live streams and helping out the community so much. Hey, no problem, man. I do what I can with what time I got. There are so many questions, and I hope y'all hitting the like button. Yeah, listen to Glenn. You better be hitting the like button. I can't see how many we have, but I'll take any. I'm building my house from scratch, building a 2,000-gallon reef. That sounds nice. That sounds like a dream build right there. At that point, you kind of got to build the house around the reef tank, but it sounds real nice. It really does. If I had a 2,000-gallon reef tank, I would sit in it. Buck-ass naked, swimming with my fish. And I would live stream that for you guys, and my channel would get shut down, but it would be funny while it lasted. Okay. I currently have a 180-gallon tank with a 75-gallon, 40-gallon water actual sump, and a 30-gallon frag tank shared same sump. I have 5 tanks, snowflake eel, CB butterfly, marine betta, and 2 convers, 3 chromas angels. All right. Do you think it's overpopulated SPS tank? No, it's fine. It's not that much, man. It's not that much at all. You're fine. As long as you're keeping your nutrients stable, you don't have anything crazy going on, no algae, no issues with that. And yeah, you're fine. You're good. Aggression is fine. You're fine. Mark, right. It's in quarantine. After I got tons of small feather dusters, I had to listen to you. Yeah. Oh, hey, quarantine's good, man. I'm telling you. I just got some fish in the other day. Actually, I got 2 blue hippo tangs, little babies, and I got 2 fox faces. One of them didn't make the trip, but I put them. They were in quarantine from the person I got them. They were in quarantine for a month. I still chuck those guys in quarantine again. So it's just the way it is. Even though they went through copper treatment, they're going to go through it again. But yeah, I got some. I'm kind of getting some fish now while I can for the new setup. But yeah, so that's 2 new blue hippos on top of the one I have. They're pretty small, so I don't foresee them going into the 300 ever because I don't think I think they're gonna get beat up a little bit. So I will say that the sailfin and the powder blue are jerks, straight up jerks, and yeah, it's probably not gonna work out very well. But yeah, so got to quarantine. How long should I run my skimmer? 24/7, yes, 24/7. I was gonna say, do the waves in the ocean stop? I mean, do they stop washing up on the shore? You know, just a few hours a day. Do they stop doing that? They don't. So just keep your skimmer running. Yeah, the hey Travis, the 300 is looking great. I would love to have that purple tip acro. It's rarely on your site. Yeah, it's on there. You just got to subscribe to when it'll be back in stock. I'll be cutting some more of it. I think. Let me check. I'm almost positive that Joker's in stock right now. Let me see, because I know I cut a bunch of frags of it last week. Acros. Yeah, it's in stock. There, I'll send you a link. Sent. But yeah, I love that acro. Hey Travis, sending you some good vibes all the way from Bahamas. Oh man, that sounds nice. Question: I started dosing Vibrant 3 months ago, and now all my corals look really pale. Should I start dosing nitrates? Well, are your nitrates and phosphates bottomed out? Are you at 0? Because if you are, that's probably why they're pale. But if you're rocking 0, then yeah, you might want to start dosing some nitrates and phosphates, not just one, but both. And so yeah, thanks for the support on that. Hey Robert, hey Travis, hope all is well. How's the bacteria regimen? It's pretty good. It's working out. Need a little bit more time to kind of go through it. I will say with all of the so I had pretty good nutrients about 3 weeks ago. It was perfect, right? And then we shipped so much coral. Man, how many times I filled that barrel? So I have that 30-gallon barrel. I filled it up 3 times. Okay, 3 times. And so we did equivalent was that's 90-gallon water change on the 500-gallon Reef in a week, which then plummeted my nutrients. So my Reef tank's pissed off right now. So I'm telling you, I can't wait until we have 2,000 gallons of water plus, and I don't have to worry about that because that's the biggest issue I have right now is there's so much coral going out, and all that water's got to go with it. And of course, I got to put the clean salt water back in, and well, I'm having a hell of a time keeping my nutrients stable. It sucks, man. I'm telling you, I can only imagine what this system would look like if I never cut it and I wasn't selling coral out of it. I mean, not only would the tank be blowing seams from all the coral growing in it, but I wouldn't have the issues that I have. So it's a lot harder than I thought it was. This is the first time I've actually dealt with this. On the 125, it wasn't an issue because we weren't selling coral that long, and we were taking the tank down. So it wasn't something I had to continuously deal with. But with this setup, man, I've been struggling with nutrients and just the whole enchilada associated with it because the sheer amount of water that leaves this tank every week. Not complaining. It's just something that I have to learn. I have to adjust. Business is doing really well. So, and thanks to you guys. I mean, the support is crazy. Even through all this COVID stuff, the support is just unreal. It's nuts, man. And I will admit, I feel bad because I can't make as much content as I want to make because I have to, send out the orders and take care of all the stuff that you guys, because of the support you're giving me. So it's like, what am I doing? So I can't wait till I have, at least 2 full-time employees, like I mentioned before, to just take care of this stuff, the day to day. So we're going to go for a few more minutes. I got some other stuff I got to take care of. And we've been going about an hour now. So we're going to do a few more questions and then I'm going to peace out. Check on Scott, make sure he's still kicking. But here we go. Do you think there's truly a pest-free reef tank out there, or is there always something? Well, there can be a truly pest-free tank. Right now, the only issue I have in mind than I've ever had was verminted snails. And I've talked about this about 50 times, how I got them. I got them even after quarantining that big Lobo that you guys love so much. Even after quarantining, I still got them. So yes, there is such thing as pest-free. How do you go about that? Well, you quarantine everything. So you get your rock, you get your dry rock, and of course you can cure it, build your reef tank, yada 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 with that. And then before you add any fish, you put them through a 30 to 60 day quarantine, so you avoid all the pests and parasites associated with fish. Okay, and then you take your inverts and your Chaeto and anything that you plan on putting in the tank, and you quarantine it. You clean all the shells, you quarantine the inverts for a month, if not longer, to make sure no verminous snails come in, no extra crap or any, the usual stuff that come in on snail shells. So you quarantine those and anything that comes in associated with inverts. And then your coral, you do coral quarantine, 30 to 60 days. This is so you can catch things. So if you are quarantining LPS, I recommend you go longer than 60 days because apparently I didn't go long enough for the LPS that I have, and that's how I got the issues that I have. But you guys will see, again, if it's meant to be, you will see officially 100% pest-free setup on the next build because there won't be any LPS, so we're not taking any of those chances. And, of course, everything else is already quarantining, so I don't have any issues. So, yeah, it can happen. You just have to put the time in. Is it worth it? Worth the time? Absolutely. You just got to do it. So. What are your thoughts on nitrate level at 2 or lower? It's too low. 3 to 5 ppm. Don't go lower than that. And this was the second part. They would nip at your dick, though. I'm assuming, Andy, you're talking to somebody else because that did not make sense to what you just said. There we go. All right, here we go. How would you define a stable alk? Do you manage to keep yours the same for weeks at a time? Yes. Well, when I say weeks at a time or the same, I'm talking about maybe a fluctuation of, so my goal is 9, right? So once I'm at 9, it might fluctuate to like 9.02 and then kind of back down to 9 and then down a little bit, like 0.2 points down after that. So that's kind of where my fluctuation is. Now, one thing that, of lessons learned, right? So starting a business, selling a lot of coral, cutting a lot of coral, one of the things that are very difficult is keeping stable alkalinity because you always got stuff healing. You always got a lot of stuff healing. You always got a lot of stuff going out. So there's that balancing act. It's a lot harder. So right now, my fluctuations are a little bit more than that. Not very much. But your goal is to, of course, keep it as stable as possible. Is it going to always stay where you want it to be? No. I mean, things are going to change. You're going to get bursts. You're going to get growth, bursts and growth. I'm trying to say that the right way. Of course, you're going to have, more consumption as corals grow within the tanks. You're going to have to adjust to that. You got to catch it early enough. So I will admit having things like the Trident really make it easy to keep track of that because it tests so often. But also if you don't have that, getting in there with the Hannah and testing multiple times per week is definitely recommended. I got a whole bunch of people messaging me right now. I don't know what the hell. My PLA was delivered. If you guys want to know what the UPS was getting here, my PLA for the 3D printer. I had to order a whole bunch of that crap because y'all keep buying it. So I appreciate it. All right. I'm going to do one more question, and we are ending this tonight. I will have a video next week. What's it going to be about? I don't know. I got 12 things right here on the board that I'm going to make a video on. One of those 12 things you guys will see next week. And then, of course, the live stream. So, are you planning on making how-to videos with a new build? I don't know if there'll be how-to, but I'll show you guys the process. I got 675 videos on this channel. And I've covered a lot of stuff. I'm not one to make the same content over again unless it's an updated version, something that I can add to it to make it a little bit better than what it is. But yeah, you guys will see the whole process. I mean, it's gonna be a long process too, because of course the new house is being built, so there's a whole other situation that needs to be taken care of. There's other things, and then I'm not ordering the tanks, and I'm not going through that whole process until the house is built. So we got to wait for them to be built and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there will be probably videos coming out with old video of this tank over it. So I probably do a whole bunch of beginner stuff and go through a whole bunch of different topics, but use old video from the 300 while we wait for the other one, for the stuff to kind of get moving with that. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. Shit, I don't know if I'm even going to be on YouTube then. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I could go upstairs and take a dump and die of a heart attack right now. it could happen. So this might be it, guys. You never know. So I have plans for the future. I have things that I want to do, but I'm not holding my breath for anything. I know what I want. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If not, then, you know, it wasn't meant to be. And that's just kind of, you know, how it is. So let's see here. I'm reading you guys. I'm reading all the comments. So thanks for all the support. I appreciate it, guys. I am really reading. I'm trying to skim through. I want to do one more question because that really wasn't something. I mean, it was a question, but it wasn't reef related. I'm using natural seawater from my water change. Is there a special treatment to give it the same water parameters as a tank? I do know that people who, you know, sell natural seawater, they put it through a special filter. What that filter is, I don't know. I don't know if you put. I don't think you put it through an RODI. I don't know if the salt would stay. I don't know that. That's something I can test someday. I don't know how I'd test it, but it'd be interesting to put salt water through an RODI and see what came out the other end. But I don't know. I don't know that. It's kind of food for thought. But I do know that they tend to filter it because, I mean, who wants to pull fresh water out of the ocean? You might actually, you know, put a condom in your tank or something. That'd be weird. So I'm almost positive they filter it one way or another. It might even just be, you know, like mesh or something. But yeah, I think that's it. We're an hour over. I know it's not as long as usual, but got things to do, and you know, don't take it personal. All right. So stay tuned for next week. Again, we're going to have one, if not two videos next week, as well as the live stream. I will Monday. I will post this live stream so you can set your reminder for Friday. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or do you want to support the channel or anything like that, you can contact me via email, or you can go over to fishofhex.com and keep an eye out for all the new stuff that's coming up. All right. So thanks again for all the support, and I'll see you guys later. Right. Peace.